During this time after Vesak, after recalling the initial enlightenment of the Buddha, we remember that he stayed still for 7 weeks afterwards. He spent a week under each one of 7 different trees. So our gratitude to nature is part of the theme that we have for this time. And what the Blessed One was contemplating is said to be dependent arising. He was contemplating, penetrating into the insight into what has a cause, and realizing with insight the end of all causation. So at that moment, after his full enlightenment, the Buddha was no longer personally participating in the causes that lead to suffering. But with his great compassion, he must have overlooked the world and all the beings in the world and able to understand how for beings causes lead to getting tangled up, being bound up, being imprisoned in a web of patterns that seems to have an individual trapped on the cycle of dukkha. And then also with his insight, he saw the possibility of breaking out of that prison. There's a certain something that I'd like you to set up in your mind as a preamble to this morning's meditation, and that is letting go of the old karma. Whatever mistakes you did in the past, that's old karma. Whatever happened to you in the past is old karma. Even whatever habits of you have in your mind and heart is also old karma. And it's possible to transcend with wisdom the chains, the bonds of this old karma, and to experience just dropping out from that web and experiencing freedom. It's not that awakening is happening suddenly, all at once, or that freedom is happening gradually through the gradual wearing away of the old patterns through the training that's been offered to us. It's a sum of both. But it seems to me that the stroke of insight, or the moment of recognizing that the old pattern has dropped away, it can be aha, the aha moment. The light bulb comes on. One recognizes some kind of a transformation, it's not that you learned some different facts. It's that, like, the point of view has changed. My strongest personal aha moment was an occasion I was attending a large chanting ceremony that had hundreds of monks, bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, reciting in the Pali language the suttas. And that morning, something had happened that caused this mind to be caught up in irritability or irritation. And I was very strongly aware and sorrowful about being caught up in irritation, having the mind even a little bit obsessed with irritation. And then in the course of being having this mind diverted away from that theme, just by being together with all of those more than 100 voices of bhikkhunis and bhikkhus reciting the suttas, that the irritation disappeared. It's like the mind forgot to be irritated at that moment. But because of mindfulness, I was able to recognize and see, like, very clearly exactly the moment when the irritation disappeared, when what had seemed like really being locked in a cage fell away. And this mind and this heart were flooded with gratitude and love for the whole situation. And it wasn't exactly that, somebody gave me a Dhamma talk and I heard or I remembered and thought about a Dhamma talk that caused the irritation to disappear. But I was being, exposed to the teachings of the Blessed One by listening to the sutras that we were reciting. It was more of a, subtle combination of multi-factors that had been set up previous to that, that allowed that thorn, the thorn was pulled out. And then now, because of mindfulness, there was that recognition, that thorn is pulled out, let it be pulled out. So my invitation during the meditation, we're just going to do a regular standard type of meditation, not a special procedure related to this idea, but it might be, if there's anything in your stream of awareness right now which is negative, you might have the experience that it drops. You might experience being secluded from a negative state. And because of striving for mindfulness, you might recognize it right there on the spot. Say, oh, it's gone. This mind is free. This heart is free from that negativity. And with that, knowing that wisdom, what the Buddha recommended, is to know what dukkha is, know what the cause is, and know the cessation of dukkha. So just in that minute, from the purity of meditation, from gaining that seclusion, we can mindfully know a little bit of cessation of a little bit of dukkha. Even if we're not fully awakened arahants, we can still experience that moment of freedom, and we can recognize this is the way to the end of dukkha that the Buddha recommended. Because I know it, then I can be on the right track through that wisdom, through that vidya. The skill of seeing our experience in terms of the Four Noble Truths.
Ayya, could you please turn off our mics because someone has background noise. Their mics are open.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Coming to an upright and balanced posture. Aware of where we are in our room or wherever it may be, with the presence of our companions. And aware of this Dhamma seat, the cushion or chair where we're sitting. Aware of this physical body. The weight of the body grounded on the cushion or chair, possibly the feet touching the floor. And the lift of energy keeping the body upright. Aware of the state of mind, whether bright or dull, distracted or focused. Affected by anything negative, or free from anything negative. Aware of the sensations in the body. Letting this body awareness keep us connected to the present, not lost in the past and future, just right here where the sensations arise. aware of sensations, whatever arises. Fully present, welcoming, accepting, content with each sensation as it comes up. Nothing to do. Just stay still and be aware. And if the breath is noticeable, can let the breath come to the front, resting awareness on the rise and fall of breath. Letting the breath awareness expand and pervade and fill the whole world, filling the whole body with the breath awareness, like the breath is touching where it's very easy to see, at the chest or the belly or the nose, and letting the breath, the touch of the breath, expand. So the breath seems large, filling the whole body, the rise and fall of breath, filling the whole space with just breathing in, just breathing out, nothing else. If the mind goes into thinking, notice how that feels, like the mind is locking into some pattern, and then coming back to the body, back to the breath. See how it is unlocking from thought and resting on the sensation of breath. May the benefit of this meditation lead to our healing from all ills and for the welfare of beings everywhere. This is a time for questions about the practice. I'm especially grateful that Venerable Dhammavara is here with me this morning. She's one of the bhikkhunis at our community here who is the most dedicated to meditation. So, thank you. Questions, comments, reports, or blessings? Whatever you would like to offer. Okay, calling on Maggie. Okay, I have to do something so you'll be able to unmute yourself. Okay, now you can unmute yourself.
Okay. You talk about kind of dissipating, past karma and ways of perceiving or thinking or behaving. In the Course of Miracles, you directly ask Spirit to change your mind, change your perception of that. Change my perception, change my mind about that person that I dislike or, have past karma with. And you trust that it happens. You trust that it happens if you're sincere in your request. I haven't heard, like in Buddhism, can you make just a direct request of the Buddha, of an entity, of whoever? I mean, how would you request that in Buddhism? Please change my mind about that. I'm struggling with this
Yes.
persistent thought process that simply won't go away about this event or about this person or.
In Buddhism, first of all, there's not an idea about a blind dependency on a power greater than ourselves, that merely by asking and that other power, that other being will be able to lift that difficulty from us. But at the same time, there is a power certainly greater than me, namely the Blessed One, our teacher, and he helped us a lot by giving such clear and wonderful teachings about the Dhamma, pointing the way. And if you happen to have a friend who's somebody who's alive, who knows you, that person can also help you by bringing up the Dhamma that's relevant and pertinent, the Dhamma that you need to hear just in the moment to get you out of where you're at then. It is also very true that in the Buddhist traditions, there are devas, or gods, invisible beings, some of whom are good and who can help us. And so it's not uncommon in traditional Buddhism to ask the devas to do us a favor and help us out, and that can sort of and unlock the way. But I think it's probably more true, more in the central part of Buddhism, that the help that you need is inside of you. Every being has the desire for happiness. To be tied up in hatred or irritation is very unpleasant, very undesirable. And if we can just find out how to take away the impediment that's blocking us, then our own inner inclination towards awakening, that's the power that's going to help us. Uh, so uh, I think that personally, I think that asking for a power greater than ourselves or for a spirit for help, when that's natural, it's sort of like it's a mental position, and I don't think it's not very much harm at all. Uh, Many years ago, uh, when I was much more tied up in negative emotional habits, I had the experience on a long retreat of being very really suffering with a dislike about a situation, and because of my Catholic upbringing, I remembered that when I was a little girl, I was taught in catechism to think that there was a God who is just pure love, who would never harm me, who only has in mind for my safety, who's completely wise, and think, what would God want me to do right then? Um, and then it occurred to me that even if I didn't expect that from God, I had a teacher at the time who was living right there at the very same monastery, who was a really wonderful example, who was kind and great. Not maybe not completely perfect, but certainly had in mind for my welfare. And I could think, well, what would my teacher want for me? And then uh, the next thought that came to me was, even somebody who's not good can still teach me something. Like even a person or a situation who's painful can give me a lesson about what, even if it's a negative lesson, like what to avoid. And so then I was sort of like inviting, I remember that Ajahn Chah has a saying in a quotation. He said, the whole world is teaching us. And then I just was sort of like trying to open all the way open to let the inspiration or the insight or the way out, whatever messenger was able to give me the thought or the idea that would enable me to get out of a difficult situation from any source. So I hope this might be useful. I know Buddhism says rely on yourself, but I don't think we need to be completely rigid about that. It's possible for a person to help another person. It's possible for a being to help another being, and it's possible to receive help. And good to receive help. Kalana Chintana.
Thank you, Ayya. I just wanted to share that I've spent an awful lot of time uh, sharing metta for people that I am having a hard time with. So I can, I just use the formula, may whoever it is I'm having a hard time with, may John be well, happy, patient. There's a formula that you can find from Bhante Gunaratana. But to wish well to those that are that we feel are bothering us has really helped me a lot. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'll call on Mima.
Thank you, Ayya. Something that just came to light for me a couple of weeks ago. I had a best friend that was my best friend for about 25 years. And during the political upheaval in November and all that, she decided she wasn't going to be my friend anymore. But what I noticed that the mind was doing, we had certain activities that we did together. She would come up every spring and summer. And my mind would remember her and I would miss her. There was a longing, like, I miss her. And so what I did when I would be doing the certain chore that, like gardening, we did it together. I would miss her. And then I would just send her metta, kind of like Chantana said. I would miss her and I would send her love and I'd, may you be well, may you have peace. And I'd go on and on. But a couple of weeks ago, I did the same chore and I started to look for the missing, to miss her, but it was gone. It had dissipated. And I looked for more. I looked again, like, where is it? Like, where did it go? Because I wasn't missing her anymore. And I gave credit to the metta. It was gone. And even now, today, I can, something will happen. I think about her and there's no missing. There's no more emotional attachment to her anymore. It's just a memory that comes up and then it just kind of fizzles out. So I've seen it be very effective. So thank you.
That's a wonderful testimony. And this is exactly what we want to do with every kind of heal. And everything, gross and subtle. We want to do what is skillful to allow that to lose its grip on us. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. I'll call on Maureen.
Thank you, I find that the Brahma Viharas are a very good contemplation. It's not a person, but and especially compassion for yourself, compassion for the other person, and that can really quieten the emotions that might be so disturbing for you. So that I really think about especially compassion, because we all need compassion in any situation, I think.
We do.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. It's nice to see you today, this morning.
Me too.
I'm going to verbally give an announcement, 2 announcements. Next Sunday, the program will be led by Ayya Maharajina. You've met her before. She's located in Florida. She's doing a lot now to bring the Dhamma to the Spanish-speaking world, bringing the Dhamma to Cuba, and a really wonderful soul. Venerable Marajana will be doing the morning meditation and the sutta study next time. And then the week after that, on June 8th, for those who are in the Bay Area here in California, they're giving me a farewell lunch. So if you would like to help make that happen, you could come here in person and have the morning meditation and then have a bit of lunch and then stay for the sutta study. And then it's possible, depending on circumstances, that some of us might be able to join with IoT later on in the afternoon to have just a little bit of conversation and blessing. So just so you know about those things upcoming in the next 2 weeks. And I'll call on Madeline and then on Anaya.
Thank you, Ayya. First of all, where are you going?
Oh, thank you. I'm going to the Empty Cloud Monastery in New Jersey.
Oh, forever? Or
Well,
just for the day?
who knows about forever? But I'm taking a change of direction. You know, I've been doing a lot of service here at Dhamma for the past 15 years. A lot of activity and service and work. And I hope to have a more a quieter lifestyle to see whether I can accomplish something which is in line with the purpose for which we went forth into the monastic form in the little bit of time that I have left in this lifespan.
Oh, excellent. Well,
So,
I often join in Empty Cloud, and so I look forward to seeing you there.
yeah, you'll see me over there. And
Mm.
at the top of this hour, I put out, I'm going to post it again. I just made a very crude, simplified little page on the internet where it's
Well,
this one, tiny URL, Sobhana Thare. So if you go there, you can find out where I'm going, or if I have any Dhamma talks scheduled, you'll be able to find out about it there.
thank you. I just wanted to say something about Davis. I've been following online Ajahn Punadama's talks and very detailed talks about realms of existence in Buddhism, and I find them really interesting. And the idea of Davis really chimes with my Catholic upbringing of the guardian angel. So I very often, maybe it's a sort of a hangover from my Catholic childhood, I very often ask Davis to protect me when I'm on the road, when I'm driving. And I sometimes, actually, one time, somebody nearly crashed into me head on, and I really think that the Davis were protecting me, and they'd swerved off and went up on the pavement and missed me by a hair's breadth. So I feel very comfortable about thinking that there are Davis in the world, and they are keeping an eye out that I'm going to be safe, well,
Right.
especially when I'm driving.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd say that. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Can I just ask you, Ayya, are you going to be like this one when you're in the new place that you're going to?
Yes.
Oh, good. And are you going to post them so we can follow you there?
If you go to tinyurl.com
Yeah.
/Sobhana Thare, which I just put in the chat,
Yes.
and it's also in the weekly email that we send out, you'll be able to see what I have scheduled as far as any Dhamma talks
Oh,
or
lovely.
Dhamma programs. And being in New Jersey, I'm not that far from Virginia.
No, I'm quite pleased about it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Ananaya, I owe you an apology because we got to get together this week. So what do you have to teach us about this morning?
Well, I have to say, 10 years that I've known you through Dhamma have been the biggest growth period of my entire life. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And of course, going to miss your presence, but I really salute you and heartfelt thanks, and also for your future, that you will find the situation that will lend itself to realizing that for which you did go forth. And I wanted also just to tag in on the use of metta and the practice of metta as being one of the most powerful tools that we have in the Dhamma for helping us to get our minds clear and letting go, really letting go, and being able to drop things that don't serve us anymore. As Mina was pointing out earlier, I've had many examples of that, of where there have been uncomfortable situations, both with family and with others, and just in the ordinary world. And it never fails to clear. The point being, though, is that it's in us that's getting cleared. We open to that possibility when we practice metta and the Brahma Viharas, that the change comes within, the perception changes, old thoughts and misguided directions, etc., start to fall away because the change has occurred within us. There is really not anything external. It's really an inside job.
Right.
And that takes a lot of, and I can't say that I'm there. I'm certainly not through that process myself entirely, but this is the point of the practice, is to gain the awareness and the understanding of how this mind works and what this is really, what this process is about. So blessings to everyone. And again, countless, innumerable blessings for you in your upcoming journey.
You mentioned, well, several have mentioned the Brahma Viharas. That's the dwelling place of the Brahma realm. This is why Ajahn Punadamo's teaching about the devas on the different world levels is very interesting. And this is what Madeline was mentioning before. So here we live in the Kama realm, the realm of sense desire. And this is the realm where we've got these emotional reactivity to the input of the senses. And it's such a burden. And then the Brahma realm has stepped away from that type of reactivity. So the fear about our safety, or the resentment of an insult, or the longing of falling in love, all of these kind of things are like a huge part of the burden that we have to carry around in this world. Has dropped away when we're practicing the Brahma Viharas. And this is why that's a very good place to develop meditation and wisdom. And as well as, just having its own beauty. It's like the beauty of goodness, and the beauty of experiencing peace and freedom, because we're free from a lot, and having that peace. So thank you. Now I shall call on Diane, and I think, Diane, I'm going to let you be the last person.
Thank you, Ayya. We're talking about past mistakes and the freedom from the karma. It's like most of mine, luckily, I've never murdered anybody or anything like that, but most of mine have been verbal. Right brain neurodivergent. Mm-hmm. It's like, open mouth, insert foot, slot A. It's like, and then when I realize that I've made a mistake, I can dwell and dwell and dwell and dwell and dwell on it. To be free of it, that's a gift.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a gift. And another question I had was, what time is your luncheon next week?
Okay. Well, lunch will be approximately 11 o'clock.
But the study before that is what
the
time?
Morning, just exactly the same as it is now. So 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
We'll have the meditation. 11 o'clock we have lunch, and 1 o'clock we have the sutta study.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ayya. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
And I'm so glad that when I started this, that I was introduced to it by you.
Good. Okay. So we studied before we heard about that with this practice of emptiness and with the practice of the boundless loving kindness, that any old karma is not able to get a grip and take hold of us and control us anymore. So That's the promise. So I promise. Because it's not me promising, because I learned it from a teacher who really knows that if you practice the boundless loving kindness, that the old karma is not able to control us anymore. Anana, you had one more thought to say?
No, no, I apologize. I did a blip on my screen here, and I can't get back to the main screen to undo my
Okay,
my non-techie self. I
very good.
can't get back to that screen to take my hand down.
All right. So let's close by giving respect to the Triple Gem. The Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed one, I render homage to the Buddha, the blessed one. The teachings so completely explained by him, I bow to the Dhamma. The Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha.
Thank you, Ayya.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sadhu.
Thank you,
Sadhu.
Ayya.
Sadhu.
Thank you so much, Ayya. I really appreciated your teachings, and I'm going to look for you.